much how important is it to regular season with a big win like this?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of one we went in with the mindset trying to, give ourselves a chance to win the overall title. Obviously, Toledo took care of business on them there, and so it was kind of a mute point. But yeah, we were okay. Like, probably should have scored 5 or 6 tonight, but whatever. Kind of sloppy in the second, trying to get a certain point, just trying to get through the night, and great job 6 on 5. It is what it is. I think it's. I think we set the franchise record for highest winning percentage tonight in the season. So obviously that's something to hang your hat on, and just the mentality to good habits tonight. That was kind of the main point, and so we're ready to go on Wednesday.
You mentioned the winning percentage. Does that mean anything to you and your team, especially since you're a former Royals player yourself?
I mean, I think it's a point of pride to say that you did it. It's 70 plus games is hard, and to come out and only lose 17 in regulation over 71 games is a great accomplishment, and it's a credit to the guys in the room and the leadership that stuck with it through some tough times, especially early the first couple months where there's some adversity. And like I said, it's credit to them, and they went out and they worked hard for like 71 games. There wasn't many games where I could say they mailed it in. Win or lose, like they competed hard most nights. So, like I said, it's a credit to the guys, something to hang your hat on. And at the end of the day, we got work to do, but still a pretty cool thing to be able to say you did.
What do you think this win can do for your team's momentum heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not a big, I remember, the year we won it. I think we lost like the last 2 games of the year were awful, and then the year we lost in Game 7 to go in the second round where we were a hair away from going to the conference finals. Like we actually had to backdoor our way in as the 8th seed because I think Elmira lost 3 in a row, and we lost 3 in a row too, and we easily could have missed the playoffs that year. So it's like, tonight was a funny one. Like I don't think we were fine, but we weren't great either, and we probably, like I said, we should have had 4 or 5, but I don't think anybody's. There was a little bit of let's just get through tonight as a mentality, myself included. Even the third period was like, all right, let's find a way to get through this unscathed, and we did. So now it's on to Wednesday and switching the focus. Obviously, the team we've played for the last 6 games, so we're pretty familiar, but it'll be a good challenge.
And what can you say about Hayden's performance in net?
Yeah, he was good. Credit to him. Like to be honest, I'm not sure he's played that well the last few starts he's had, and didn't have a ton of work in the first. Made some good saves in the second, and then again, not a lot's going on, and then we give up a 2-on-1 with 5 minutes to go in the game, and that's a big save, right? Those are the saves you need. You usually need 1 or 2 saves a game that maybe shouldn't make, or it's okay, that you bailed us out. And he did that in that moment, and locked it. We locked it down the rest of the way. So credit to him, and happy for him.
Sort of looking at the season more as a whole, what has Mason Millman brought to your team, not just tonight, but throughout the season and the games that he's been here?
He's been awesome. He came to us at a point in the year where he barely had played just through injuries and stuff like that, and then even when he was with us for 4 or 5 weeks, he was up and down, bouncing up, and he couldn't get in a rhythm. And he came to us, I think, met us in Newfoundland around early February, late January, and he's been continuously getting better, and he's been lights out the last month. I think awesome, and I think for him this next hopefully couple months is going to be huge for his development. And for me, the offense is natural for him, but he's defending really well. He's going out on the PK now, last minute of the game when we're up by a goal and we need to defend his gaps on the rush. To me, he's next year he's an everyday American League guy, top 4, D-man on an American League team, top 5. With his skating, he needs to get a little bit bigger and stronger, but he's high end skill, and I say this a lot. You can play in a top 4 role as a D-man in the American League. The NHL is just a phone call away at that point, and I think that's the mentality he's got to have going forward through this playoff run, because, like I said, he's not even 21 until July. He's got to be the youngest guy in the league, and he's been outstanding, great, and he's playing mature hockey, and it's credit to him. Some guys come down, it's poopy pants, like they think they should be in the American League, and it's like maybe he should, but you can either work in your game and get better here, so then when you do go back up and next year starts, you're, like I said, he's an everyday guy. Like, to me, he's next October when the season starts, he's an American leaguer, 110%. Like, and it's credit to him. Like I said, he's put the work in the last three months or so to continuously get better, and the things that he's needed to work on, he's worked on, and now he's putting himself in a position where he's, a good player in Lehigh, and then hopefully there's an opportunity like some of the other guys that have come through here to play in the NHL.
What makes him such a strong offensive defenseman?
His reads are really good, and in the ozone they're really, honestly, I think they're pretty simple, but they're usually the right reads. And then skates so well, so he can beat defenses just with his skating ability. There's times where he's a one-man breakout where he just outskates 3 defenders in our own end, and all of a sudden it's a 3-on-2 or 4-on-2 rush. Last night, the fourth goal of the game, we do a great job breaking it out, and he's the weak side D. Like, he's in the rush, and he's level with the forwards entering, and then he ends up scoring. Like, he just beats everybody up the ice with his skating ability, and then again, like, he's got great offensive instincts, great shot, and he gets rewarded. So he easily could have 2 or 3 tonight too, but like a lot of guys. But yeah, like I said, I think his biggest thing is learning how to defend properly, because the offensive instincts for him are always going to be there, and the more I think he's realized the better he defends, the less he actually has to do it, and then he has the puck more, he scores more. So it's like self-fulfilling prophecy, as they say, right? Like, you defend really well, just you end up with the puck on your stick all the time, and the last few months have been have shown that.
And you mentioned his maturity a little bit. What can you say about his maturity? He's only 20 or 21 years old, and he's very young, but you're putting him in high pressure situations.
Yeah, like, he plays a mature game. Like I said, like, there's the last couple of months, there's maybe a couple times where you're like, Jesus, like, that was not a good play. Like, but like, by and large, he makes a high percentage play. Like I said, he's been defending really well, and I think, like I said, the biggest issue is just for him, just continue to get stronger. Like, and that's something that'll come in the off season. But he's certainly not playing like he's 20, and that's a credit to him, like I said, and it's only going to get better.
What kind of guy is he like in the locker room?
I think the guys like him. Like, he's we'll probably ask his teammates a little bit more about that than me, but like, he's settled into the group. He's definitely doesn't, he's a respectful kid, good kid, but I know he has fun with the guys, and when they're busting balls on the bus and stuff, he's right in the thick of it. So he's definitely a good kid. Like, really enjoy having him here.
Is there anything else we'd like to add, Coach?
No.
Thank you very much for the time. How important is this win, and what can it do for your team's momentum heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, any win's important, especially the last game of the season. Like, obviously, it didn't really matter standing-wise, but, it's just always important that we make sure we're in a groove. Like, we had a tough stretch in the second period, kind of getting bogged in the defensive zone, but it's just one of those things that we just got to battle through, and we know we got better, and we do, and we close out the game. So it's just more of a momentum thing going into playoffs than anything.
And what's it mean to you to have home ice for at least the first 3 rounds?
Oh, yeah. That's huge. Like, K-Mac's been harping on us all season long, especially we don't get the private jets like the NHL does. So the bus rides are a little long. Anytime we can play at home in front of our great crowd, it's awesome. It's definitely an advantage.
What was the key to your team's success tonight, especially on defense, to pitch the shutout?
Yeah, I think we just try to keep it simple. Like, it's the last game of the year. Maybe the guys aren't really into it because it doesn't matter standing-wise, but we just knew we just got to bear down. I think it was the biggest thing we needed to do was just talk more in the defensive zone when we were getting bugged in our own end. And once we started talking, we did a lot better job of making plays, getting out of our zone. But I think that was basically the key, just a little more talk, a little more urgency, just like every other game.
And how eager or excited are you for the playoffs to start on Wednesday?
Yeah, we love playoffs. This is the whole reason why we play hockey. These games are going to be tight. They're going to be chippy. They're going to be hard fought, but they're awesome. The electric crowd and everything. There's no place you'd rather be in playoff hockey.
And how much of an advantage is it? You're playing Maine, but you just played them for several games here in the last 2 weeks, so you're familiar with them.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had I wouldn't say we've had a tough time. I think all the mistakes, like K-Mac said, were just self-inflicted on their goals. So I think we know how they play. We know that we're a better team than them. We can drive them into the ground, especially because we have, I know after when we go to Maine, it's 3 games in 3 days. You don't really see that much in the playoffs. But we got a deep roster. We got young guys. We got fast guys. So I think we're going to be able to skate them into the ground and take advantage of them.
And I just talked to your teammate Mason. What kind of teammate is he on the ice?
Oh, that's my deep partner on the ice. I love him. He's always got your back. He's a great skater, great shooter. He's just a great hockey player. Me and him gel well together. We're talking out there all the time. We come off the ice, kind of talking about what we see, what we can do better, and stuff like that. He's just a guy that, especially for me, I want him as my deep partner. Like we just gel so well together. We can talk, we can bounce ideas off each other, and that's what makes a great teammate.
And what's he like off the ice or in the locker room?
Off the ice, he's a funny guy. He's one of our younger guys. He might be the youngest guy, right? He's our youngest guy.
That is what Coach said. He's only 20.
Yeah, exactly. So when he got here, he was definitely a little frustrated, as most guys are. I went through that going up to the AHL and coming back down. You don't really feel like you belong. You kind of feel like, for lack of better words, you're too good for this league. But then once you step on the ice, you realize these guys are pretty good. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you can't just waltz through this league. You gotta compete. You gotta skate hard. So, I mean, he's been great. After the first couple weeks, he's really opened up and been a part of the team. Been a big part of the team.
Is there anything else we'd like to add?
No, let's go Royals. Big playoff run. Let's go, baby.
All right, thank you, Gary.
Thanks, guys.